Hi, my name is Jonathan Green, and I'm the Director of Instruction at the Peterbog Green Academy of Golf in Sisters, Oregon. And today we're going to talk about the issue of coming over the top in the downswing and what we can do to fix it. But first, you have to understand what it is that causes coming over the top into the downswing. First of all, if I go to the top and take a look at what it is to come over the top in the first place, it's the arms pushing out and away from your body, getting away from your body very early in the downswing, which causes the club head to cross the path and swing from right to left, putting a lot of left to right spin on the ball, and we see the slice. Or if the club face closes down early, you're going to hit a straight pull. Now you're probably asking, okay, I know that already, that I come over the top, but I can't fix it. Main reason is, when you come over the top, it's because the sequence of the body is not correct. You have the upper body moving too soon relative to the lower body. So if we get to the top and the upper body starts moving too soon, or the hands and arms start moving too soon, naturally, without even having to put too much effort into swinging over the top, your arms just will go out and away from you very early. So the key is, once we get to the top, to sequence the motion properly. And if you look at any good professional player, when they're at the top, on the way down, everything starts in the lower body. And when the lower body leads the action, everything else can fall into place, and it's a lot easier to swing down your plane at that point. If you look at a couple other sports to relate to this, a baseball player, for example, will set up at the plate, and when they swing, they step with the lower body, they get everything going here first, and then the bat comes around and everything follows. In golf, it's the same way. It's no different. You have the lower body leading the action, and the club will fall onto plane. A couple checkpoints that you're going to have to go through, however, to make sure that you're in the correct position at setup, correct position at top, to even make sure you're in position to do that on the way down in the first place. So let's take a look at the setup. And obviously the setup is probably the most important part of getting your swing started correctly. Jack Nicklaus once said, if I'm set up correctly, I can get away with a mediocre golf swing. If I'm not set up correctly, I can't even get away with a great golf swing. So I've always been very, very tight on getting the setup in a good position. First thing here, a lot of players struggle with the spine angle leaning too far forward. And when you do that, it's difficult to really get my head back behind the ball where it belongs to be in position at the top. What that looks like from down the line view, if my body's leaning forward, I'm exaggerating this for the point of simplicity, you're going to see a very high right arm, and you can see my left arm underneath my right. My shoulders are very open, aiming left. So we're already set up in the position where the club wants to come out and come back down on the way out. So if we can get in a position where the spine is leaning to the right for a right-handed player, meaning I'm leaning away from the target, now I'm in position to turn correctly back behind the golf ball. That's the first checkpoint for you. Check that you have your spine leaning away from the target. Checkpoint number 2. When we're at the top of the swing, the spine should still be leaning away from the target. If you can see where I'm at here, it should look as though I'm in position to get the lower body started first before the upper body coming into the downswing. If I'm here, I'm making it very, very difficult on myself. I'm most likely going to take my shoulders and move forward, and my hands are going to bump out off plane from that position. So that's checkpoint number 2. Get to the top, make sure your spine is leaned away from the target. Now from here, how do you practice getting the sequence proper, where you're at the top and you want the lower body to lead and everything else to follow? One thing I do with a lot of my students is I'll talk about tennis. And all you have to do is pick up a tennis racket, and you're going to figure out pretty quick that there's a couple actions that you make in tennis that can relate really well to the golf swing and should help you understand. I'm going to do 2 motions here. One is going to be the slice forehand. One is going to be the topspin forehand. Now if I hit a slice forehand, the racket comes from a higher position to a lower position so that I can put that backspin on it and hit a slice forehand. That would be the equivalent of coming over the top in your golf swing. Now if you do a topspin forehand, the racket's going to come from a lower position to a higher position, which would be equivalent to swinging from the inside to out in the golf swing. So if you can start to acquire the feel of hitting a topspin forehand in your golf swing. Once you're in that good position at the top, it's going to be a lot easier for you to produce that great swing plane that you're looking for. So from this angle, you can see if I do the slice forehand, I'm coming high to low. The racket actually went from out to the right to the left. Topspin forehand, I go low to high with the racket. Sure enough, the racket came from the inside to the outside. Pick up the golf club and let's take a look at that same thing. I'm going to get to the top in good position, spine leaned away from the target. Now all I'm trying to do is that topspin forehand where I feel like I'm coming from low and coming up at the ball on an ascending blow. Now obviously in reality, you're not ever going to really come up at the ball when it's on the ground. The club does come down in a descending blow into the golf ball, but the feel is though you are coming from a lower position to a higher position, and that will do wonders for your issue of coming over the top. So in summary, you're going to want to check the setup, that your spine angle is leaning to the right. We're going to want to check your position at the top of the golf swing, that the spine is still leaning away from the target. And then on the way down, try to work on that feel of hitting the topspin forehand. If you've ever played tennis before, even if you haven't, pick up a tennis racket, even if without a tennis racket. Just take your hand and go like this and see what it feels like to make that motion. I think you're going to find it's a lot easier to get your plane in check, and the ball flight's going to come out a lot more accurate. Okay, web tip. Hi, my name is Jonathan Green, and I'm the Director of Instruction at the Peterborough Green Academy of Golf. And today we're just going to talk about a quick check you can do on your grip to make sure that it's functioning properly. Two things that the grip should do. It should give you maximum power and obviously allow you to return the club face to impact square as regularly as you can. So if you just get your grip on the club and start doing this, all I'm trying to do is get the club to swing in a circular arc. What I'm checking is, do my wrists have freedom to move? And can I return the club face square at the bottom of the arc? Now right now I can tell my grip's in good shape because I'm able to return that club face square on a regular basis, and my wrists have freedom to move. If your hands are too far underneath the club on each side, meaning you have a weak left hand and a weak right hand, you can probably return the club to square, but the wrists are going to feel very awkward. It's a lot of work to get that club to swing in a nice continuous motion. So get your grip on the club, try to get the club moving in a circular motion like this, and if you're able to feel like you have freedom of motion in the wrists, which allows power, and you can return the club to square consistently, which is going to be your accuracy, that means your grip is in good shape and you're good to go.